it's been brought to my attention that perhaps a good episode would be on sharpening knives, chisels and everything, but wood carving and all the things that I do require very sharp blades, and I've learned pretty well how to get a good edge. But anyway, these blades are pretty dull, but not that bad. So I'm going to start with this one. Well, I'm going to go through the stones first. Pretty much done there. There's a variety of stones that you can get. A good basic one is a Carborundum Stone, and those are fairly coarse. This particular one is for sharpening size, big old grass cutting tools. It's an odd shape. You wouldn't probably find many like this today. You look for a Carborundum. Generally, there's a coarse side and a fine side, and for most practical purposes, those two coarsenesses or finenesses is all you need. But for finer edges, there are other stones that I'll get to. Anyway, these are generally considered oil stones. I don't like using oil. Most of the things that I'm working with are light colored woods and bone and things like that, and you get oil on your hands and your tools, and next thing you know, it's all over your projects. So I use water, and if you keep enough water on it, it's just to keep the grit from getting clogged up, and it floats the particles of steel and stone that you wear off up and out of the grit of the stone. If you're into it and you really think you need more than just water, then the next thing that I go to is dish soap, because it cuts grease and it lifts and does all the wonderful things. So this would be considered a coarse stone and a good starter if you've got a fairly dull knife, one that may never have seen a sharpening stone or not for a long time. If it's really bad, then I don't even like to say grindstones, because more steel has been burned up on a grindstone than has been saved. But yeah, you might need a more aggressive approach. Then I actually dug this stone up at a place we call the Old Place. It's an old homestead just up the road from us, and I was digging around the old foundation and found this. This was probably considered the gentleman's razor hone of the time. It's broken off, but there's plenty of it. I've been using it for years, and I just think it's cool because I found it on the property. Back in the day that they were doing razors and things like that on stones like this, they were using spermaceti, which is whale oil from the sperm whale. There's a pocket of it in the back of their head, like 5 gallons of pure oil. Wonderful stuff. This is originally sealed, still full, brand new bottle of sperm whale oil, and I will never use it, but I'm thrilled to have it because it's just a piece of our history being a New Englander. That sort of thing was used for fine, like clocks and sewing machines, and for sharpening. This is a very nice stone. This is a Japanese water stone, and they're quite expensive, but they're just really sweet, and they are recommended just for water. It's got I think it's got about a 600 or 800 grit coarseness to it, and it's a great stone for going to after you do the carborundum grind. You go to this to smooth things out and get the scratches out and stuff like that. And then you'd go to a super fine stone. Now this is a neat stone. It's called a Belgium Razor hone. Generally, the best ones are naturally married up to this purplish slate that they quarry over there. It's a lot harder than the slate, of course. And these things are almost impossible to find, but it's a very fine stone. This is a teeny tiny, what's left of my Arkansas hardstone. This is the finest stone, and this is the one I use like most all the time in the shop. Some of these stones stay in the house here, and some of them go with me to the shop. Arkansas honing stones are, again, an oil stone, but as long as you keep them wet and cleaned out, you don't need to use oil on them. You can use water or the soap. And this is a very hard, dense stone and produces a glass-like polish. I wish it was bigger. It used to be. Can't find the big piece. And this is just a kind of a medium grade. It's a little finer than this one, and but it works for a medium grade for the house. These 3 stones here I keep in the kitchen, and these go with me to the shop. This being my medium, my coarse, my medium, and my fine. And these things want to be submerged all the time if you use them a lot. Otherwise, when you put it in the water, it takes about 15 minutes for it to soak up the water. And as you're using it, it's so porous that as you're using one side of it, the top side will start to dry out, and it's actually soaking through the stone, and you'll find all the water's on the other side. So
you can turn it over and
and keep going. Yeah. And you can see I've got a similar wear on both sides. It's getting a little hourglass, but still flat enough to do the trick. What I'm going to do is start off with my Japanese water stone. Probably the biggest trick to honing a blade is keeping the proper angle. I take my fine stone. You can hear that sound that it's cutting. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So I know that I've gotten as far as I need to go on that side.